Why, hello, Midway Piper back with you again. 2 videos in one day. Wow. If you watched my earlier video, I told you I'd be doing this video. And if you didn't see it, go check it out. It's a Friday Reads video. I haven't done a book video for a while, so I figured I'd throw one out. So, real quick before I jump into it, this is a Breuer pot. In it, I have some Black Irish Twist sliced. So I finally took the bandages off. Got one of my cysts removed. You can see the stitches and all that. There it is. Sun's reflecting really badly. Still got one more to take off back there and another one back here, but all things in due time. So I had an experience over the last couple of days that I wanted to jump on and talk about. And I will start off by saying I very, very rarely will go online and give bad reviews for things. Up until yesterday, in fact, there was only one review that I had gone online and done a review for. And it was a company called Sealed. And they were working with our electric company, or partnered with our electric company, to come to your house and figure out where there's air leaks and things like that, and how to seal up your house, save you electricity and energy. So I contacted them. I know my house has a lot of air leaks in it. So I contacted them. Went through the process. Finally got back to me with a quote. And they wanted $26,000 to insulate and stop the airflows. It's expensive. It's an older house. It's expensive. I was like, I don't have that kind of money right now. They're like, well, we've got finance plans for you. I said, oh, okay. Let's hear this. He said, well, we would put you on a 30-year plan. I was like, whoa. 30 years? Like, yeah, it's a 30-year payment plan. And this would be your payment per month. And I'm on the phone with them, and we're discussing this. And I was like, I pulled out my phone, I put in the calculator, and I was like, that comes out to $50,000 over 30 years. That's not even $23,000, which I thought was high. That's $50,000. That's more than twice your quote. And they said, oh, well, sometimes people like to have a long-running plan because, the work is guaranteed so long as you're paying on it. I said, are you going to insulate my house twice in that time? And I was like, well, what if I want to pay it off early? And they said, oh, you can do that after the third year. You can pay it off, and it would be this amount. And I was like, that's $30,000. We're still well over $23,000. And I thought that was a stupid number. So I not so kindly told them to never contact me again. And I went online and did a 1-star review for them. And other people had already left comments about them, that they had been very misleading in their financing for air conditioner installations and things of the sort. So that was my first 1-star review. second one came yesterday. Now, my father-in-law is no longer able to drive. And so his old truck has been sitting. It's not an old truck. It's a 2017 Tacoma. It's been sitting at the house unused for many years now. So they gave us a truck to sell. Cool. Now, first level of complexity with this situation is that it's not under his name, it's under his company. So I was just going to deal with Carvana. And they want some forms that are not readily available. One of which has to be gotten from the state, which it's not going to be a quick thing. Nothing with the state is. So instead of going back and forth constantly about this, I figured I had some time on Wednesday. I went over to the car dealership, a car dealership. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to name drop. I went over to Rivera Toyota. Went over to Rivera Toyota in Mount Kisco, New York, with the truck. I went in and said, I have a truck I would like to sell. Went out, they looked at it. Now, a couple things about the truck real quick. Number one, it was my father-in-law's last vehicle. He was not gentle with it. There are dents and dings and such all over the truck. So I'm not expecting top dollar for it. However, it is a 2017 Toyota Limited Tacoma with only 47,000 miles on it. Not a lot at all. So it's got that going for it. So I told him what Carvana had quoted me. He didn't believe me, so we redid the quote on his computer there. It came out to 22,400. Okay. He said, bring it over to the service center. Have them put it up on the lift real quick. I'll tell them you're coming over. And we'll just have them look over the frame and everything, make sure it's all okay. So I did that. In the waiting room there for about an hour and a half. Go out. See the truck just sitting there. And I was like, is that thing done? I'm like, I don't know. So I finally found someone. And they're like, oh, we don't have any records of it. And I was like, I literally just came over here from the sales department to have it looked at. And then someone finally came around. I was like, oh, yeah, it's done. It's ready to be taken. Go back over to the dealership. Comes over and he says, oh, the blower needs to be replaced. Blows air fine. Whatever. He goes, best I can do you for is $20,000. Whatever. Fine. Cool. I'm ready to get rid of the truck, right? I said, there are documents that I need signed from a representative from the business. I said, okay, cool. Give me those. I'll go get them signed tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Sell you the truck. Gets me all the documentation. I said, I want that quote in writing before I walk out this door. So he pulls out a sheet of paper, writes all the information down for the truck, writes the quote out, signs it. I take that home. Go to work at the gym. After that, go to my in-laws to get the paperwork signed. Get back home, it's about almost 11 o'clock at this point. Go to bed for a couple hours. I'd been up since 4:30 that morning. Go to work. Left a little bit early to make sure I would have plenty of time. Get over there, sell the truck. My wife met me over there. She was going to pick me up and drive me back home. So I go over there, give them all the paperwork signed. They run all the information, make sure it's all legit. Perfect. Sitting there at the guy's desk. Must be going on another 45 minutes. By the way, when I first got there, he came out, he took the plates off the truck, tore the registration sticker off the windshield, gave me the plates. Sitting at his desk, about 45 minutes, expecting him to come back over. Everything's done and ready to go. My wife's sitting across the street waiting for me. Comes back over with some other guy. The guy goes, and I can see on my sales guy's face, he looks like he just got a whooping. This other guy goes, I'm a sales manager here. I'm not paying you that for the truck. And I said, excuse me? He goes, there's no way I'm giving you that for the truck. Have you seen the dents in it? I said, I'm fully aware. And I spent 4 hours over here yesterday where people were looking over the truck. And then this guy here, your sales rep, gave me that quote. And I went home and got all the paperwork signed at that price. And now I'm back here to sell it to you for that price, which was agreed upon. He goes, I wasn't here yesterday. I said, okay, I got a price yesterday. This is it. Here is the signed paper with the quote on it. That's what was agreed upon. He goes, there is no way I am giving you near that much money for the truck. Absolutely no way. And I said to him, put the damn plates back on the truck, put the registration back in the window, and I'm leaving. He's like, you don't even want to hear the counteroffer? I said, why would I take anything from you guys? You can't even keep your word. You guys are able to write out quotes without your approval somehow, and then all of a sudden you can come in and change that? That's why I got this in writing yesterday. And I may have said some other things that were maybe not very nice. I probably did not handle myself quite as well as I should have. But at this point, I had wasted about 5 hours trying to sell this car to this dealership. And then they come at the last second, they're like, no, we're not going to honor that price. So the sales guy comes back out, he puts the plates back on and tapes the registration sticker back in the window. And I just laid into him the entire time. And honestly, I was thinking in a couple of months, when the new RAV4 Hybrid comes out, I was even thinking about going to sell my 4Runner, trade it in. Nope. Nope. No. Absolutely not. And I came home and I wrote them a very poor review, 1-star review. This is not the first Toyota dealership I've had issues with. When I bought my Tacoma years ago, it was at another Toyota dealership. and I was trading in a Suzuki, and it was valued around $5,000 resale. They offered me 500, and I was going to buy the Tacoma from them. This is trade-in. So the sales guy went, go get the manager that game. He came over and said, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give you $2,000 for it. And I said, all right, well, let me rephrase this. Because it was in good shape. I said, let me rephrase this. This deal does not happen. I don't care if you need to take the $1,500 off to get me my $2,000, take the $1,500 off the truck, or you increase the trade-in value of my car. I know what you're going to turn around and sell it for. It's probably between $5,000 and $7,000 at least. And he looked at me and said, get the F out of my dealership. And I said, cool, good, bye. I walked out of the dealership. I got to the car. The sales guy followed me out. He said, hold on a second, just give me a couple more minutes. I gave him a couple minutes, and somehow they made the deal work. But these sales managers are something else. Something else. The trip that they live on, it's crazy. The only decent experience I had, actually, was when I bought my 4Runner. I traded in that Tacoma for it. I needed something with... I wasn't getting the use out of the bed I had thought I was going to get. So I wanted a fully enclosed car. SUV. And this one other dealership had 2 4Runners. It was right before the 2020s came out. And I figured I could get a decent deal on a 2019. They had 2 left on the lot. So I went there. We discussed the trade-in price. And I said, you know, I really think it's a little higher than that. And the guy goes on his computer, goes on the auction websites, and he shows me, he says, this is what they're selling for at auction. And there's a whole list of Tacomas. He goes, they're all within the same range. That's why we're at the value that we offered you. And I said, you know what? Thank you for that. I really, truly appreciate you showing me that. I'll take it. We'll do it. Makes sense. Okay. And we did the deal. These other 2 Toyota dealers? Nope. Absolutely not. I was pissed yesterday. 5 hours of my time wasted. I hate dealing with dealerships. I absolutely hate it. I just figured it would be a little bit easier. I didn't have to get that one document from the state that Carvana wants, so I figured it would be easier. Nope. To be perfectly honest, if they hadn't done that, I probably would have taken a lower estimate for it, or lower price for it. But because of the way they did it and because of his attitude, I would love to be done with this. But not dealing with that. No way. That is highly disrespectful. Highly disrespectful. It is absolutely amazing. You know, when I came home on Wednesday after the 4 hours of the dealership, I came home and I told my wife, you know, I think I need a shower. I feel greasy and disgusting from just being in a dealership. And now, I don't really want to go back to a dealership to look at the new RAV4 hybrid when it comes out. I don't think I want to deal with it. That was an absolutely horrible experience. So, like I said, I probably did not handle myself as well as I should have. But I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I was just so pissed off. So needless to say, if you're ever in the same boat, just keep in mind, apparently written offers are apparently not valid. It's just amazing how these places of business apparently are able to run the way they do. And it's funny because they just finished a huge, massive renovation. Absolutely massive renovation to this dealership. But it doesn't matter how nice the dealer looks. The people you have working there suck. That's it. This Black Irish Twist, it's good stuff, but it is amazing. It will not stay lit for its life. His stuff is dry, absolutely brittle. It still doesn't stay lit. Anyways, that's it. Just wanted to go on and share my recent dealership experience. I'm gonna go try one other online car purchasing website to see if they require the same document that Carvana does. Even if they, you know, come in a little lower. At this point, I'm just ready to be done with this. I have so many things on my plate right now. Much bigger than this truck. So I'm gonna go start that process and see where that gets me. Then after that, I guess we're going to Facebook Marketplace or something. I just don't have it in me right now to go try another dealership. As I'm getting in my car to leave, the salesman says, "Hey, did you try the Honda dealer over here?" I looked at him and I said, after this experience, screw dealerships, screw you, and everything that goes on here. I don't want your suggestions. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. We're done. Closed my door, drove off. He walked inside, his head was down. He was very defeated, shall we say. Both me and his manager, I think, tore him a new one yesterday afternoon. So, I don't know. I don't really feel bad. But I don't like doing that to people. I really don't. I really don't, but I don't know what else. You know? Don't take the plates and tear the registration off, first of all, until the deal's done. Unbelievable. Anyways, hopefully you guys are having a better week than that. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.